In this day and age when a Western philosophy is mentioned, most people will think about Stoicism and its famous crusaders. Of course, not trying to take anything away from Stoicism, a good case can be made that Stoicism is needed now more than ever. But in ancient Greece, Stoicism wasn't the only philosophy exposed to the people. In this video, we'll be taking a look at Platonism. So what is Platonism, you may ask? Well, it's the philosophy of Plato and philosophical systems closely derived from it, though contemporary Platonists do not necessarily accept all doctrines of Plato. Platonism had a profound effect on Western thought. In its most basic fundamentals, Platonism affirms the existence of abstract objects which are asserted to exist in a third realm, distinct from both the sensible external world and from the internal world of consciousness. Before diving deeper into Platonism, it would be wise to learn a bit more about the life of its creator. Plato, one of the most influential philosophers in Western thought, was born around 428 or 427 BCE in Athens, Greece, during the tumultuous period of the Peloponnesian War. Though much of his early life remains shrouded in mystery, Plato came from an aristocratic family with political connections. His birth name was Aristocles, and he later acquired the nickname Plato, meaning broad or wide, possibly due to the breadth of his philosophical knowledge or the breadth of his shoulders. Plato received a comprehensive education in Athens, studying under some of the most prominent intellectuals of his time, including Socrates, whose teachings would profoundly shape his philosophical outlook. It is believed that Plato first encountered Socrates when he was a young man and quickly became one of his most devoted followers. The philosophical dialogues that Plato later wrote often feature Socrates as the central character, portraying his distinctive method of inquiry and his relentless pursuit of truth. Despite his admiration for Socrates, Plato was deeply affected by his mentor's trial and execution in 399 BCE, which was orchestrated by the Athenian authorities who viewed Socrates as a corrupting influence on the youth and a threat to the established order. The unjust treatment of Socrates left a lasting impression on Plato and influenced his views on justice, politics, and the nature of knowledge. Following Socrates' death, Plato embarked on extensive travels, visiting various Greek cities and possibly studying with other philosophers, including followers of Pythagoras in southern Italy and the followers of Heraclitus in Ephesus. These experiences broadened Plato's intellectual horizons and enriched his philosophical insights. Upon returning to Athens, Plato founded the Academy, one of the earliest known institutions of higher learning in the Western world. Established around 387 BCE in a grove dedicated to the hero Academus, the Academy served as a center for philosophical inquiry and intellectual discourse for nearly a millennium. It attracted students from across Greece and beyond and played a significant role in the transmission and development of philosophical ideas throughout antiquity. Plato's philosophical writings encompass a wide range of topics, including metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, politics, and aesthetics. His works are primarily written in the form of dialogues, featuring conversations between Socrates and various interlocutors, each exploring fundamental questions about the nature of reality, the meaning of virtue, the structure of the ideal society, and the pursuit of knowledge. Among Plato's most famous dialogues are The Republic, in which he presents his vision of the ideal state governed by philosopher kings and explores the nature of justice; The Symposium, which examines the nature of love and desire; The Phaedo, which discusses the immortality of the soul and the theory of forms; and The Phaedrus, which explores the nature of rhetoric and the soul's ascent to the realm of the forms. Plato's philosophical legacy extends far beyond his own lifetime, shaping the course of Western thought for centuries to come. His ideas have influenced numerous philosophical traditions, including Neoplatonism, Aristotelianism, and Christian theology, and his writings continue to be studied and debated by scholars around the world. Plato died around 348 or 347 BCE, leaving behind a rich and enduring intellectual legacy that continues to inspire and challenge generations of thinkers. Platonism encompasses a wide range of philosophical ideas, but some of its core concepts include theory of forms. Perhaps the most central tenet of Platonism is the theory of forms, also known as the theory of ideas. According to Plato, beyond the physical world that we perceive with our senses lies a realm of eternal and immutable forms, or ideas. These forms are abstract, perfect, and unchanging archetypes of things that exist in the material world. For example, there is a form of beauty, a form of justice, and a form of goodness. The physical objects we encounter in our daily lives are imperfect reflections or copies of these eternal forms. Dualism. Platonism posits a dualistic view of reality, distinguishing between the material world, which is impermanent and constantly changing, and the world of forms, which is eternal and unchanging. This dualism extends to the human soul, which Plato believed consists of a rational, immortal aspect that is akin to the world of forms, and a mortal, sensory aspect that is bound to the material world. Epistemology. Platonism offers a particular perspective on knowledge and how it is acquired. Plato argued that true knowledge, or episteme, can only be obtained through rational contemplation of the forms, rather than through sensory experience alone. While sensory perception provides us with opinions or beliefs, doxa, about the material world, true understanding comes from grasping the eternal truths found in the realm of forms through intellectual intuition or dialectical reasoning. Metaphysics. Platonism has significant metaphysical implications, particularly regarding the nature of reality and the ultimate purpose of existence. Reality, according to Plato, is hierarchical, with the world of forms at the highest level of reality, followed by the material world and then the human soul. The ultimate goal of human life, influenced by Platonic thought, is to attain knowledge of the forms and thereby achieve a closer alignment with the transcendent realm of truth, beauty, and goodness. Ethics. Platonism offers a framework for ethics grounded in the idea of the good as the highest form. Plato argued that virtue consists of aligning one's actions and desires with the form of the good, which represents the ultimate source of value and moral excellence. Living a virtuous life, according to Plato, leads to eudaimonia, or flourishing, as it brings the soul into harmony with its true nature and purpose. Platonism has had a deep impact on Western culture and continues to be a subject of study and debate among scholars to this day. Its ideas have shaped numerous religious and intellectual traditions throughout history, making Platonism one of the most important ancient philosophies in the world.